In the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful. Welcome back to my channel, Nadir Hussain AR. Today we are going to talk about the navigation in React Native, particularly how to define the navigation, components of the navigation or its ingredients with the TypeScript, because most of the people find difficulty when it comes to the defining navigation with the TypeScript, right? And then we are going to cover two specific scenarios, that how to hide tab bar from specific screens when you are using tab navigation, and the other one is how to transition from onboarding or your auth flow to the main home flow, right? Okay, let's start with the type checking or the type set. It involves three steps. The first thing is to define params list for your navigators, right? And the other one is then you after you have done with the defining params list for the navigators, then you have to define props for the specific individual screens props. Okay, let's call them props, and then use these props definitions, prop types into the component definition when you are defining file.tsx file for a particular screen. And after that you have to define those stacks or navigators in your root navigator or in app.tsx. Okay, let's jump quickly into the practical implementation. So our first step was to define params list for our stacks or for our navigators. So our root stack contains these screens: sign up, verify, onboarding. So basically this is a mapping of the root names or screen names and the parameters required by them. So verify OTP requires email into the root parameter. Sign up does not require anything. Similarly, messages screen will require these three params, right? Being passed it into as a root params. So and the one thing to note here is this main tabs is in itself a navigator, a nested navigator. So for that you have to use this navigator screen params generic type from React navigation library, and then provide the params list as the nested navigator. We are basically using stack navigation and then tab navigation inside stack navigation. So this bottom tabs param list is defined here. So it will be good if you start with the innermost, defining the params list for the innermost text. So our innermost is tab navigation. So first define it, because it is going to be easy. Then define the outer one here by navigator screen params and other screens. Okay, this was our first step. The second step was after defining the params list for the navigators, we have to define props for the individual specific screens. Here we give this root stack params and specify the name of the screens for which we are defining props. This whole stack params list tells it that from this screen you can navigate to all other these screens, right? Okay. So for this for defining the props for individual screen, you will have to use this native stack screen props for stack navigation, and for nested basically you have to use this composite screen props. This is used to extract out the basically define the screen props for the screens in the nested stack or the navigator. So composite screen props and native stack screen props. And now after defining the individual props for the individual screen, you have to go and define the component for your screens, and in that you have to specify these props types that we have already defined, right? Chat props, messages props, and stuff like that. And by defining this, basically IntelliSense or VS Code basically knows that what its root parameter should contain, what parameters should be contained in it. Instead of guessing it, you exactly know, and it will throw error if you basically type wrong or something like that, that it does not contain, right? Okay. Our last step was to define the navigators in our app.tsx or root navigator. These two methods are used: create native stack navigator from the React navigation, and create bottom tab navigator in case of bottom tabs. And you have to specify these stack parameters that we defined here in this method. Create bottom tab navigator, you have to define that param list. Similarly, in create native stack, you have to define provide these params list. Okay. The other thing is you might be familiar that how to define screens inside it. However, as far as type checking was concerned, we have covered all four components or all four ingredients that how to get it done. Our other goal was of this video was that what to do, how to hide tab bar from some specific screens, right? If you basically search it, when you encounter this issue, if you search on the Google, you will find that some solution on this GitHub which says that you have to basically, it is kind of a hack, right? That you have to specify in the options that and compare that if this is the screen, then tab bar should be visible or not. But this is a hack, not clean solution. However, the documentation tells us, guides us the clean solution, that right in React navigation 6.0. Here it says that let's suppose if you do not need tab for the profile and the settings, then this is the tab, home feed notifications, okay, home profiles, settings. So basically let's suppose if you do not, I think in the next it should have been, so let's suppose if you do not need tab into the notification, or there is another screen which does not need basically tab bar to be shown, then simply basically take it out of the tab navigator and put it into the root stack navigator, into your parent stack navigator, right? In the nested tab navigator, only put those screens where tab bar needs to be shown. This is the clean solution instead of applying the hack. The other scenario that I had to talk about you, that how to transition from an onboarding auth flow to the main flow. This is simple. Now you have to define based on some parameter or value. Obviously in after you are done with the onboarding, you will have some data of the user, that this user is signed in, or you will have the email or something like that. You can place check on that if signed in, then follow the main stack, otherwise the onboarding stack. So hopefully this video is going to be helpful to you to understand the React navigation in the React Native apps, and hopefully more exciting things are coming into the upcoming videos. Thank you very much.